Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Eternals. I know I have a DC Aquaman shirt on. No, not Star Trek. Everybody calls it a Star Trek shirt. I probably said this 1,000 times when I wear the shirt when I do movie reviews, but it's Aquaman. I know it's a Marvel movie, Eternals, which I know nothing about, except for what I know is that this is a group of heroes that helps shape civilization. They've been here from the beginning. They're immortal, and they've been on Earth for a long time, and they help shape the history. I don't know. But who's in it? Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek, and Kumail Nanjiani. You know him from Franklin and Bash. I always loved that show. Anyway, 2 hours and 37 minutes long. So I'm excited. It's out. It's on Disney Plus. So awesome. But here's the thing. I had been hearing about how great this movie is. Just from people, right? I look now, I didn't realize it's only 6.6 on IMDb and 59,000 people have rated it so far. So that's a pretty solid 6.6. So I am now tempering my expectations. I came in to tonight like this is like a great release night. This is very exciting. I'm so jacked for this movie. But at 6.6, I mean, half the movies on my list are over a 6.7 that nobody's ever heard of. Now, it doesn't have over 100,000 views on it, or ratings. It's got like 1,000, but still, you know, averages are averages. I don't know. 2 hours and 37 minutes long. It's pretty long. It's a Friday night. I got Aquaman here. We're going to watch a Marvel movie, and I'm going to find out what it's about and give you a better idea. Maybe have a couple of drinks, and then tell you what I think. Alright, stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching the Eternals. We're at the 1 hour, 19 minute, 37 second mark. There's an hour and 18 minutes left. So, just over the halfway point. Long way to go here, but just wanted to catch up. There's a lot more actors in it than the 3 that I had mentioned. I don't know all their names off the top of my head, but you've seen them in a lot of different movies. It's like, wait, I know that one, I know that one. You know, there's the deaf girl from Walking Dead. She's in it, and a couple other people. Anyway, I'm sure everybody knows that, but you know, so there are some people in it. I didn't know everybody else at first when I started. Who cares, right? So evidently, this group of heroes were sent to Earth to eradicate it of what was called deviants, which are like huge, big, like lizards and dinosaurs and stuff like that, but alien type, and they're coming, and they come to, the deviants are, you know, taking out the humans, but the Eternals are supposed to be there to, you know, rid the Earth of them, and they do that, but then they said when their mission is done, they'll go back home to Olympia or wherever. And they all have different powers. They're all, you know, special in their own little way. They all have their own backstory. But that was like back in the AD, I want to say 1500 AD. They were able to get rid of all of them, but then they're still here in the present day. Well, luckily enough, they're still here because the deviants come back, right? So they're trying to figure out why is this happening. They seem a little bit more evolved, the deviants. And during, you know, this happening, they do a lot of flashbacks to show, you know, how they've they've been there for like 7,000 years, and, you know, how they've their story has changed. So they give some depth to all their characters throughout the whole thing. So that's really what it is. It makes you think, though, like, wow, can you imagine being immortal, eternal, you know what I mean? Like, they don't age. You know, there's one girl who's like 14 years old. And stays 14 years old, looking for 7,000 years, you know, and everybody else kind of stays the same. So that's kind of fun to always think about, like, you know, what would that be like? But that's really what it's about. So they're trying to figure out. Now there's more. I'm not going to spoil it for you. There's a like their leader who seems like a giant robot in the sky that one person can speak to. That will tell them more information, but ultimately they're stuck on Earth. You know, they're thinking, you know, until their next mission, and they've been there for 7,000 years, and now, these deviants pop back up. So they're trying to get the band back together because they all go their separate ways, trying to get back together to save the planet Earth. And then, like I said, there's a little bit more involved in that, but that's the gist so far. I don't know anything about Eternals. Never heard, but they do make references to the Avengers and Thor and Captain America, which is cool because it's the present day, and this takes place after the final Avengers movie. Where I hope you've seen that. What has happened in that movie has happened. So there's not all the Avengers, right? So they reference that. So I think that's kind of neat. Started looking up some of the actors and actresses in this, and was it Gemma Chen, I think is her name? Yeah, Gemma Chen. Now, she was in Crazy White Asians or whatever, which is cool. But then as I went else to see, she's also in Captain Marvel. Now, the character name that she played in there is different than the character name she plays in here. So, I don't know. I just found that interesting. Maybe that's just luck of the draw, or there is... I mean, Marvel has been so good at intertwining all of their movies that I have to think that there's a connection there that I don't know about. Maybe you do, but it's on IMDb. So I found that pretty cool. Alright, that's it. I'm going to get back to it here, see where it goes. If anything interesting happens in the next hour and 18 minutes, I'll check in. If not, I'll see you at the end and give you my final thoughts. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Eternals. First of all, it was a little long, I felt. I mean, not that I could think of anything to cut out. It was entertaining, but it felt like there was a point where I had to go to the bathroom. And I paused it, and I was like, there's still 45 minutes left of this film. It felt like it was winding down at that point. But it wasn't. There was 45 more minutes. There are 2 post-credit scenes. Now, here's a great thing. One thing that I really like about Disney Plus, you have your first post-credit scene, and then the credits start to roll, and it says skip credits. Like, you can click the button. I was like, what? I don't want to miss it if there's another post-credit scene. But I was like, what the heck? I hit it, and it jumps you to that. So you don't have to wait through all the things or fast forward and mess with that. It jumps you right in. Very bravo, nice, thank you. And the credits now are rolling so I can watch it and appreciate everybody who was involved. So it's still okay, but you get to see them. So I like that aspect of it. Now, for the movie itself, it was good. Again, I don't know anything about these characters. I only learned what I was able to put together on the film. I still feel like I'm missing pieces of it. I feel that, what's her name? Tomb Raider. Man, I can't remember her name because she was in this. I feel like she had a bigger purpose and was supposed to be a bigger character and wasn't. I don't think I fell asleep. I don't think I missed anything, but I really felt that she was supposed to have more importance in all of this. And from what I saw, she didn't. Angelina Jolie. Sorry, Angelina, I forgot your name, but you know who I mean. Like, I don't know what happened there. The Gemma Chen, and if anybody caught my blooper in the check-in, I apologize. That was funny. I was gonna correct myself now, but I figure if you stuck with me this far and you heard the blooper, just make sure you hit the like button or something. I messed that one up, but anyway. Besides that, like, she was the main character, and everybody's got powers, everybody's got history. I don't know. I think there's a lot to unfold. Maybe if I watched it again, I would understand more. But I don't. I don't get it all. I get most of it, but not all of it. So I think I really missed a big piece there with her. Why Angelina Jolie's character wasn't more vital to the film, and why Gemma Chen's character, which I don't even know what her name was. I don't know what any of their names are, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, Sari and Athena. She was the Athena, the goddess of Olympia. But not there. And then I don't know. There's a lot to take in here for this film. I'll put it to you that way. Especially if you don't have any idea about these characters. So, but it was fun. I liked it. Like I said, even though it felt long, I felt engaged. I was interested in all of it. You know, a lot of cool things, cool characters. You know, I liked a lot of them. Some of them were, you know, I wasn't crazy about, you know, but that's okay. You're not going to love every one of them. You should like a couple of them. But and in the same regard, I wasn't overly infatuated with, you know, like I think you watch the Avengers. I mean, and I think it's probably different for everybody. But I mean, you love Iron Man. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man are iconic. You know, you could also like Captain America too. You know, and you like everybody. I don't know if there's any Avengers that maybe I didn't like. Like, you think of Hawkeye, you still like him. He's not as iconic as Iron Man. But in this one, I don't feel there was like a, and maybe there's not supposed to be, there was that iconic character. The one that really, it's like, man, that's awesome. They're all just there, in a sense. Now, some of them have a bigger role or purpose in this film than others. But there are others that's like, I didn't really need that character. I needed Hawkeye in Avengers. That's awesome. You know, I don't think it would have been as good without him. But there's characters in this one where I'd say, I don't know if I necessarily need that one in here. You know? There's a couple of those, actually, to be honest with you. So, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling, trying to put some things together. I'm sure nobody's watching this review because almost 200,000 people have already rated this movie on IMDb, and you have your own opinions. I would give it a 7. So I'm going to try and drive that score up a little bit. My one vote out of 200,000 is really going to help it a lot. But I could see maybe a little bit of the disappointment in this film. Now it's setting up for more, and that's cool. But I don't know. I don't see how it ties into everything else. I see, I mean, because it's present day, and they could tie it in and loop it in. But it seems like a much bigger deal, and I don't see it tying in as well to the rest of the Marvel universe. I don't know if that means that there's a lot here, a lot to take in, a lot of different characters, and I'll give you an example. Shang-Chi is on my screen right now because they want me to watch that. I've already seen that. Now, he's one guy, and it was a 2-hour and 14-minute film, so there's a lot of development on him. And you can kind of see that one character now moving into the Marvel Universe and playing a bigger role somewhere, somehow. As opposed to the 10 or so characters that were just in that movie. Some you like, some you don't care for, or you don't, not that you don't care for, some you could do without. And how they play into the bigger cinematic universe. And maybe they don't. But if they don't, I don't think there's enough here for it to develop its own track. If you know what I mean. That's what I got for you. I think that was some great knowledge for you. But still glad I got to see it at home in my chair. Skip through the credits to see the post-credit scenes. You know, and that's great. So, and it's another superhero movie, which I like. I could talk more about DC, but I won't. I'm going to watch Peacemaker. I might do a little insert in Peacemaker. So, check it out. Keep your eyes open for that one. But that's it. That's all I got for you. Thanks for tuning in. If you saw my blooper, cool. You made it to the end of this one. Even cooler. I thank you so much. Alright, see you next time. Kimmel's Irish Pub.